Tom Brady did not hurt his legacy whatsoever during Super Bowl 52. Like, not whatsoever. Tom Brady is still the greatest quarterback of all time. He is still, by most accounts, the greatest football player of all time. I think the only guy people even consider anymore is, like, there are still a couple people in the Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice camp. But by and large, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time. That has not changed. That will not change. His legacy was not tarnished. It was not diminished. Now, you could say it was not made better, and that's a fair statement. But it was not diminished, tarnished, any way, shape, or form, despite what people on the internet want to think. What he did do, though, is he validated another great all-time athlete's legacy. And there's a lot of people that validate this guy's legacy. So, Tom, you are not alone in this. The legacy of Michael Jordan post-career just gets better and better and better. Let's explain something here. Everybody has go-to arguments for why they're great and go-to arguments for why they're not great. You know, right? When you're first applying for jobs, they're going to ask you, what are your pros, what are your cons, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, right? And everybody does the same thing. Everybody tries to put, their strengths. I'm really good at management, or I'm on time. Cleanliness is a strength of mine. And the weaknesses, you kind of, you're like, well, I care too much, right? We always try to give these BS. I'm just, I'm too on time. I'm always show up early, and that rubs people the wrong way. Like, we make up BS weaknesses, right? And the whole point of that is, once you state what you are good at or not good at, your employer is going to then base that off of about 3 months or 6 months down the road when they've actually watched you performed. And they're like, okay, what is he actually good at? What is he actually bad at? And it's never as nice or as complimentary as you make it out to be. So here we go. The go-to reason for why Tom Brady is the greatest of all time is that he has 5 Super Bowl wins. Well, now Tom Brady also has 3 Super Bowl losses, which puts him one behind Jim Kelly for the most all time. He is now tied with John Elway with 3 Super Bowl losses. What makes Kobe and Tim Duncan so different from Michael Jordan? They have 5 rings. Jordan has 6. It's only 1 off. Well, Jordan never lost. Kobe and Tim Duncan both lost in the finals. What is the big debate right now with LeBron and Mike? Oh, well, LeBron's been to all these finals. Oh, but he's lost all these finals. Mike never lost. Mike always gets to put, and it can never be changed. It is cemented. It is forever in history that he is 6-0 in finals. He is 6-0 in his team's championship game. Like I said, Tom has 5 rings, he has 3 losses. Tim has 5 rings, but he's lost. Kobe has 5 rings, he has 2 losses. Montana and Bradshaw, they have 4 rings. Well, Mike has 6, that's more. Mike's pro when he fills out his job application, and his pro when he's getting reviewed, is better than everybody else's pro. This is why Michael Jordan is considered the greatest athlete. Because despite what numbers and what performance you want to sit there and throw out, what statistical measure you want to use, what metric you want to put on the table. I love this. You see them on Twitter all the time. They sit there and guys that are defending LeBron or defend Kobe, they sit there and show, oh, well, they did this better than Mike, or they have these stats. The only players ever with this stat. The fact is, to be the greatest of all time, you need some appeal to the average fan. The average fan watches what more so than anything else? Championship games. They're watching the Super Bowl. They're watching the NBA Finals. They're watching the World Series. Everybody gets up for those. Not everybody's getting up for the basketball game in February 8th during the NBA season. Not everybody's watching week 5 in the NFL season. Not everybody's watching a baseball game in the middle of July. The viewer attention and viewer retention is much higher for championship events. And in that, Mike has no peer. You want to take his own sport. Magic's lost. Bird's lost. LeBron's lost. Kobe's lost. In the NFL, Brady's lost. Who else would say? Jim Kelly lost a whole bunch. John Elway lost a whole bunch. So Tom Brady didn't hurt his own personal pedigree or his own personal legacy. That's intact. He will always have 5 rings for as long as he lives. They cannot take that away from him. But he will never be undefeated in Super Bowls or in championship games like Mike was. Mike will always have the undefeated mantle, which puts him on the highest pedestal of the Mount Rushmore of sports. Tom Brady is fantastic. He is an all-timer. He is the greatest of all time for his sport. He just loses the greatest of all time argument when it comes to all sports and simply boosts one Michael Jeffrey Jordan a little bit higher than everybody else.